Welcome to everyone around the world, to all my subscribers. The document that I just got hold of through totally non-illegal ways, the document I just got hold of completely blew my mind, and I just want to share some of the information from it. Basically, like the title says, if I put the right title in there, everything you thought was science fiction is real. They've known about it, and we are kept in the dark. I don't know why us on the surface are kept so ignorant, but this is a whole new ballgame here. Um, like the title of the document says, teleportation physics study. Um, it's from the Air Force Research Laboratory, um, from a famous Air Force base, but I'm going to be semi-responsible and not say too much sensitive information from it. It's pretty awesome stuff. So let me go down to full of really big equations and all sorts of things. But let's go down to this page here, because reading this blew my mind. Um, they must have a really good reason to keep us in the dark like this, right? Because everything that I thought and I personally believe is real, certain things I know are real, but we the public are led to believe are not real, you know what I mean, or that we don't know and stuff like that. It really makes you wonder, why are they dumbing us down? They must have a good reason for it, right? So I'm almost at the page now. It's a pretty big document. It's like 90 pages. Okay, here we go. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to read tons of stuff from here, right? One thing I read earlier is that they did studies in numerous countries where they observed the experiments and everything. Actually, I will read part of that, on teleportation of objects. And in China, one study was done in particular, and they videotaped the teleportation and how the objects would meld into the side of the containment box and then vanish, and then do the opposite in the other containment box. So this stuff's all real. They've known about it for years, and we're just kept in the dark. And not just teleportation, but spiritual power of human beings, because people were making the things teleport, not machines. This is pretty incredible stuff. So I'm just going to read a few little extracts from this here. Complete mind blow. Complete. One of the thing I'm about to read now gets into something that I personally went through and experienced like 11 years ago. And I always knew it was real. Nobody else talks about it. Now I read it in a document that our physical body is connected to our higher body, our spiritual body, however you want to put it, right? And it's connected by the fourth dimension. You know, I'm not here to elaborate and talk on that, but all the stuff I know and believe and experienced about that, it's like right here in a document, part of a study. So it's dead real. So here we go. Proposition 1 and Fact 2. It has been proposed that our space actually possesses a slight four-dimensional hyperthickness, so that the ultimate components of our nervous system are actually higher dimensional, thus enabling the human mind or brain to imagine four-dimensional space. And it quotes a study, Hinton, 1888-1904, Rucker, 1977. If this is the case, then the three-dimensional nets of neurons that code thoughts in our brain may form four-dimensional patterns to achieve four-dimensional thought. The bulk space in three-brain theory, BRANE theory, see section 4.1, and experimental data from the remote viewing program, which is also talked about here, see section 5.1, provide support for this concept. Can we see into the fourth dimension and have four-dimensional thoughts? Yes, we can. Proof. See Rucker, 1977, 1984. They're quoting that as proof, okay, right? If you look at a Necker cube for a while, it spontaneously turns into its mirror image and back again. If you watch it do this often enough, the twinkling sort of motion from one state to the other begins to seem like a continuous motion. But this motion can only be continuous if it is a rotation in four-dimensional space. The mathematician August F. Mobius discovered in 1827 that it is in fact possible to turn a three-dimensional solid object into its mirror image by an appropriate rotation through four-dimensional space. I yesterday just made a video, right, or earlier today, whenever it was. It's very chaotic in my life lately. Where I went through my old personal notes from like 10-15 years ago, and I had certain experiences, and I was describing high super advanced technology, right? One of the things that I read was about how in order to render the 3D object invisible to 3D observers is by creating a fourth dimensional loci for that 3D object, right? Without explaining the process. This is what this is talking about. That just confirms that I had correct knowledge, right? But this is mind-blowing. So it says, by an appropriate rotation through four-dimensional space, aka hyperspace rotation. Thus, it is actually possible for our minds to perform such a rotation. Therefore, we can actually produce four-dimensional phenomenon in our minds, so our consciousness is four-dimensional. Rucker, 1984, shows another dramatic example of being able to see into the fourth dimension via a NECA cube. Fact 3. Another property of higher dimensional geometry, Reichenbach 1957, Rucker 1977, 1984, is that one can move through solid three-dimensional obstacles without penetrating them by passing in the direction of the fourth spatial dimension. Everything I've known for the last 10-something years. The fourth dimension is perpendicular to all of our normal three-dimensional space directions, and so our three-dimensional enclosures have no walls against this direction. Conclusion and hypothesis. Therefore, the results of the Chinese P teleportation experiments can simply be explained as a human consciousness phenomenon that somehow acts to move or rotate test specimens through a fourth spatial dimension so that the specimens are able to penetrate the solid walls barriers of their containers without physically breaching them. No real rematerialization of the specimens takes place. The intensity fluctuations of the radio microtransmitter specimens' electromagnetic signal and the apparent blending of the other specimens with the walls of their containers represent the passage of the specimens through a fourth spatial dimension. During teleportation, the radio signals emitted by the microtransmitter became weak or non-existent and fluctuated because they were spreading out into the fourth dimension and became undetectable in our three-dimensional space. The weak signals that were barely in brackets detected represent the leakage of a portion of the radio signal back into our three-dimensional space from the fourth dimensional during teleportation. The observed blending of the other specimens with the walls of their containers is how the movement rotation of the specimens through the fourth dimension was visually interpreted by the mind, along the lines of the Necker cube or the Necke cube examples. This is some deep stuff, man. This is half a page from like this 90-page document. Wow, man. So, anyways, I just clicked up a page and I see it mentioned UFO. Okay, but nothing amazing. That does say the word. So, yeah. So basically, they've known about all this stuff for a long time. This is all the mystical stuff from all the other cultures around the world. Meditation, making some call it, I hate the term astral body and all of that there. Right? You got a body, physical body, you got a non-physical body. That's how I like to term it, because then you don't have to fuss, oh, it's made out of light, it's made out of this, made out of spirit. You got physical and non-physical. Who cares what it's made out of, you know what I mean? And the soul is the mind of both, right? So you got two vehicles in different dimensional densities, you know what I mean? However you want to look at it. And then you have the soul, I'm not giving away all the secrets here, but apparently they already know all the secrets. It, I was scared to share this knowledge because in the wrong hands they could use it for profoundly dangerous things. But apparently they already know most of this stuff or all of it. Maybe not some of it, but if I've been oblivious to all this, I, that explains why in the other documents they're talking about stargates and wormholes. You know, everything that you thought was off. This is half a page from a 90-page document. Okay, teleportation, all these spiritual powers, Jedi force ability, all that's real. Telekinesis is real. UFOs are real. You know what I mean? It's all real. And it's all made possible through, let's keep it dumbed down to the mysterious fourth dimensional principles, right? Anti-gravity, just everything, man. It's just mind-blowing. They must have a good reason to keep us all dumb. They really must. And I'm only going to say it because I'm on the topic, but, and I'll try and say it covertly, but I think on the surface, we're dumb. But underneath and on the bottoms are where all the smart ones are. And if you were to be below, then you would be in the know. But if you're on the top, then you're in the slop. I'm starting to think that's what it is. This is pretty incredible stuff. But I'm going to try and do short videos when I'm doing these topics, so I'm not going to waffle through the rest of the document and all this and that there. So very interesting food for thought. So all those things are real. This further validates. Check my video out. I did this teleportation, kinesis, manipulation of reality, whatever you want to term it. Go look at my video. The only video on YouTube, the only video probably on the internet which openly shows real magic, real power, where for 3 minutes, I completely shuffle a random deck of cards, utterly, completely, visibly right in front of the camera, even looking away, shuffling it every conceivable direction, and then hold the deck still, command what card to come out, boom, 7 of diamonds, it's the 7 of diamonds. That's controlling outcome, right? Authority over reality. You can have authority when you can control the principles, right? When you can do that, then you can make things happen. That's how all this stuff works. And it is, I've always known it's linked to the fourth dimension. I know how to get there, and you know what I mean, so to speak. Apparently they do too. That's kind of scary. I don't believe the big conspiracy like I did years ago when I was younger, that, you know, the world's run by evil people and this and that there, and, you know, certain things I believe, but I don't believe all that nonsense anymore, right? So I don't live in this conspiracy tinfoil hat where, you know, the evil elites are trying to, you know, do this and that to us. I do believe there are bad people in positions of power, and there's good people in positions of power. It's not like we're in a totally evil, you know what I mean, stupid system like that. So that makes me feel better, because having this such knowledge is only good in the hands of good people. You know what I mean? If you're good, then you can use it for extreme good. If you're bad, you can use it for extreme bad. That's why the Force is kept secret from the young Padawan. You know what I mean? You have to become a Jedi before you can use it.